Back in 1990, I was in grad school living on beans and rice. We had 2 small children and soon 2 more. I was hoping to write the great American novel, but words are cheap and impossible to eat. So I started this photography business to help us make ends meet. But I didn't get serious about photography until our 5th child came along. But he was in trouble from the moment he was born. His color never got right. The nurses and doctors kept coming in and out of the delivery room. Finally, they pulled us aside and said, "Your child is very sick." So they life-flighted him. They flew him to Pittsburgh Children's Hospital, where a few hours later, he died in our arms. After that, I decided to take my family on vacation no matter what. So we rented a cottage at Kelso Beach, and I remember one afternoon, I was lying in the sun not far from the shore, and I dozed off. And when I opened my eyes, I looked around and I asked my wife Gretchen, I said, "So where are the kids?" And she didn't know. And only the oldest one was in sight. And after a mad scramble back to the cottage and then running up and down the beach and quizzing complete strangers, we were in full panic. They weren't on the beach. They weren't in the water. They weren't anywhere. So I looked at the oldest and I thought, "Are you the only one left?" And after what seemed an hour and a tip from a stranger, we found them a mile down the beach, marching happily along the shore. At that moment, I realized how fragile and short life can be. The very next day, I took our kids back out to the beach, this time for a family portrait. And when we got the proofs back, a week later, I stared at them, all 48 of them. This was back in the film days. But I didn't find a single one that I loved. In frustration, I told my family, "Look, we have to reshoot." My wife, Gretchen, urged me to settle down and to look one more time at one particular proof. So I did. How had I missed it? The image stopped me. It was the one they weren't smiling. It had a timelessness, a serenity, a subtle joy. It was beautiful, like a painting. We made a large portrait of that image and hung it in our dining room. That was 26 years ago. It has never come down, and we never tire of it. Since that day, we've made it our mission to serve families and individuals, each with their own unique beauty, each with their own challenges. Because at Lorei Portraits, we believe in family. We believe in the dignity of the individual, and we believe that every face is beautiful.